welcome to OM4C Radio, edition 11. Today our concept is going to be freedoms, God and you. I hope that we're able to discuss openly the freedoms that we share in the United States. For those of you that are in other countries, if you have a constitution, look it up. Check out for UN treaties with your country that lay out human rights. If you need any help researching this, contact us at om4c2@yahoo.com. We'll be glad to help you research what needs to be done. Today we're going to discuss, in part, the First Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. What a lot of people don't know is that there's two parts to the First Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. And that's this. The first one covers freedom of religion, choice, press, assembly, and free press. The second part is that Congress shall not make any law prohibiting or establishing a belief. This is very weird, because the Constitution itself is a theory or a belief. Amendment 14 binds the states to the same amendment as if they were Congress. So the First Amendment, per the 14th Amendment, would read like this: all persons are entitled to the freedom of press, peaceful assembly, opinion, and press, meaning news and media. Congress nor any state shall make or enforce any law that prohibits or establishes a belief. This is the separation of church and state. We as churches, as news media, we operate under the First Amendment. Irregardless of religious difference, in America, whether you're a Methodist, a Baptist, a Universal Life minister, a Pentecostal, Apostolic, a Catholic, a Lutheran, all the several denominations and non-denominations, if the First Amendment is taken away, then so will our choice of freedom. If the First Amendment is prohibited by the states in any way, shape, or form, it is oppression under a color of law to our God-given right to choose how we believe. If the federal government or a state makes a law that establishes another belief as if it was a government agency, trust me, there's a few that operate on belief theory, such as parenting theory, best interest of children with child support theorems. These laws all establish a belief. It's up to each and every one of us to determine whether or not we allow this to happen in violation of the First and 14th Amendments. Each person in America is responsible for knowing and enforcing their rights. Being ministers of light, we're supposed to seek knowledge. We're supposed to give sound advice. We're supposed to give unbiased advice. We're supposed to back what we contend with black and white. I can tell you that if you read the U.S. Constitution, then research what they call precedent cases concerning them decided by the U.S. Supreme Court, you'll find that the contention is there that it's been backed by U.S. Supreme Court rulings. Is this a station that churches are supposed to be in given our tax exemption? We're not supposed to lobby the government with our tax exemption, but we are allowed to exercise our constitutional rights and teach others, especially our members, and in this case our members and listeners that are abroad, how to enforce and preserve their right of choice, as well as their other civil liberties, because this falls within the category that we operate under. Because of limited time for recording, we're going to cover this as part 1. I didn't put it in the header, but this will be part 1 of a series of freedoms, God and you. Beginning with the First Amendment, the freedom of choice, peaceful assembly, religion, opinion, and press. And that Congress nor the states shall make any law that prohibits nor establishes a belief. This is definitely one that if you are challenged by local police for conducting business in your church or in the conduction of your belief where there has been no harm to another, then you have a right to stand for your constitutional right to do so. You don't have to walk into the courtroom a defeated person, nor do you have to trust your attorney to speak for you. If you know how to speak for yourself, it's always much better because God will give you what you are to say. Paul, when he was arrested in the New Testament, I think it was in Acts, they brought him, he was a Roman citizen, and they brought him before the local magistrate, and he said, I am a Roman citizen, and I demand to see Caesar. I have that right before you can convict me of any religious treason. Well, we have that right as well, to speak to the U.S. Supreme Court, to use U.S. Supreme Court decisions in our local magistrates. And we're going to discuss how to do this. This is a trick that if you use it, will protect you. This is a $1 million trick that's hidden by most attorneys. They don't use it because it could be very time consuming, and most people don't have the amount of money needed to follow this all the way through via an attorney. So we have a pro se club. If you're able to join, email us at om4c2@yahoo.com, and in the subject put Pro Se Club. There is a membership donation or love fee. Be a part of that. We request that you donate at least $20 a year. You can do that in monthly increments. Via several methods, but if you're interested in learning more, email us at om4c2@yahoo.com and put in the subject title Pro Se Club, and we'll help you learn how to enforce your rights. Breaking news. In Ohio, we have had 18 solid days of rain.
The streets are flooded in Newark.
Streets are flooded in the city of Newark, Ohio.
North Fulton is flooded.
And we are experiencing flash floods. North Fulton Street and a few other streets are flooded. I'm sure that the south end of Newark will be feeling it here soon if they don't already. I will try to get out and maybe get some pictures of this and place them on the OM4C2 Facebook page. Again, if you'd like to join us on Facebook, email us at om4c2@yahoo.com. Give us your Facebook ID and we will send you an invite. And that's all on that issue. When we use the Constitution to protect our rights, what happens is we stop oppression and tyranny under a color of law. Oppression and tyranny under a color of law is any act done by an officer of the court, of a city, a county, etc., any statutes that may be written by a legislative branch, any judiciary misconduct. There are several ways that you can enforce it. The best way is to go into the courtroom and present it to the judge, because the judge can only rule on what's presented to him or her. And when that don't work, you can demand that they hear Caesar, in this case the U.S. Supreme Court, by giving them case law. They'll have to stop the proceedings, review the case law, and then interpret it as it fits the current condition. This is a very powerful weapon that can be used to stop tyranny. Kind of like this. I'll be working on the sound effects. I'm still playing with this. Forgive me if it doesn't quite coincide. I thought it did. That was the sound of a missile launch, because that's exactly what happens when we use our rights to thwart oppression and tyranny, to thwart someone trying to force their First Amendment upon us, to force their right of choice beyond our right of choice. And this, no one's allowed to do this. They're not the state in their codes, not the counties in their ordinances, not the cities in their ordinances. The only court that can truly determine what is or is not constitutional is the U.S. Supreme Court here in America. There's not a whole lot more I can say on the First Amendment, other than you need to read these things. You can use all sorts of media to find the U.S. Constitution and read it. You can find case law by typing in your Boolean searches. And like I said, the best way to learn this would be to join our Pro Se club, which teaches the Constitution, how to enforce it. We can only give you examples of how to write a petition. We're not able to write them for you, nor are we allowed to speak for you, because I am in no way, and nor is any of our members at this time, attorneys at law. But we are U.S. citizens and constitutionalists, and we do believe in the enforcement of our rights and civil liberties that are due all mankind.